Today I'm going to do a review of this Hercules die grinder. I'm going to compare it a little bit to this DeWalt die grinder that I've had for much longer than something I've used very much on the regular. And we're going to go ahead and zoom in and I'll tell you what I thought about it. So I've not been using this tool for a real long time. In fact, I only use it today. My boys were using it a good bit a couple days ago to do some wood carving, and I decided to give it a test drive today. So it has a 3 amp hour, or excuse me, amp hour. It has a 3 amp motor. Just going to verify that real quick here as I look at the label. Excuse me, 4 amp motor. And the DeWalt has a 4.2 amp motor, so very comparable. I didn't notice a power difference from one to the other. In fact, there's probably just two things that I find to be significant. And so for me, specifically, you see all these metal shavings. I was grinding steel using carbide burrs, and it did just fine on the power. I've been using this Hercules angle grinder for quite some time, and I think it's great, especially for what I paid for it. So what I don't like in this Hercules grinder, one of the things I don't like, is this switch. So if something goes wrong and you let go, it doesn't stop. So I don't like that. In fact, I bought my boys this switch, and what this switch is you plug the grinder into it, plug the grinder in. Now to turn it on, you got to turn this switch on, and you gotta step on this. So if something goes wrong, as soon as they take their foot off the pedal, it stops. So don't like the switch. But that's remedied for, I think, like $10, $15, $12, somewhere in there. And that has worked just fine for them. The other thing I don't like, few other small things, but the other thing I don't like is this. So it takes 2 wrenches. Now this version of the DeWalt die grinder does as well, but when you're trying to use this, it wants to slip up, and there's not as much of a purchase or a grip higher up. So it seems like, to change bits, I'm fighting it a little bit. Whereas if you slip up, the wrench wants to slip. So a little bit of a design flaw there. My DeWalt does not have that same problem. And it definitely doesn't have the problem where if you slide up higher, the contact point narrows. Let me see. So right there, right here, so if your wrench slides up toward the collar there, it'll want to slip. So somewhat of a poor design there. The DeWalt, you just slip off if you're not where you need to be. You don't go into a narrower contact point. And the way the DeWalt is designed is, if anything, your wrenches seem like they want to ride up. And in the case of this tool here, riding up goes into that narrower contact point. There's a stop collar on the DeWalt on the higher side. So those were the 2 main things that I didn't like about the Hercules. The other thing, this is more of a concern. This area in here is, let me make sure this thing's, yeah. This is, want to make sure it was unplugged. This area in here, you can see like a plastic fan. Whereas the DeWalt appears to be sealed off. So in my mind, that seems like that might be a durability thing, you know, getting debris into the shaft. Also, this is all plastic right in here. Not the actual spinning part, but this area in here is plastic. And the DeWalt behind this plastic here is steel. Now, I don't know if that's just a short section or not. It also just feels a little bit more, you know, it's like a rubbery grip, and it just feels more robust. Whereas the feel of this feels a little less robust, I guess, is the best way to put it. And, you know, so a bit of a concern there. But, you know, it's a lot cheaper. And, you know, Harbor Freight is frequently running sales. Like this angle grinder, I want to say it retails for about $70. I paid $35. So if you can find a deal like that, I definitely say buy this grinder. You know, if you're not getting that kind of deal, maybe it's not as wise of a purchase. In my case, if you're buying it for like your kids, you know, I don't feel like they're gonna. Well, they might actually abuse it more, but they're not gonna make it work as much. Price-wise, the Hercules grinder at the moment, maybe by the time I post this video, it won't be the case. You can get it for $69.99 on sale. It's typically $79.99. And for this, you're gonna have to pay $150 right now, it looks like. Maybe you can find a better deal somewhere, but that's what I'm finding it for. So a lot more money, definitely a more of a trusted brand. With that being said, I've used the heck out of this angle grinder and actually really like it, and would definitely recommend it, you know, especially to the hobbyist. Now, maybe, you know, and I've been using this like a year, you know, maybe after a while I'll change my tune, but so far so good. So kind of my closing thoughts on this. If you're going to use this a lot, short of you know, someone using it for years, or even, you know, just a ton to the point where they killed the tool, you know, it's hard to say, because, you know, durability is the most important factor. And, you know, DeWalt just has, and other brands, Milwaukee, Makita, and others, just have a long to record. So I really hesitate to say, you know, if you're a professional who's going to be using this tool all the time, to buy it. And I suspect that that's going to be the take of the professional. And again, with that said, so far so good on this, and I've been, you know, dogging it some. I actually bought a second one and gave it to my friend Tom the welder. Hopefully I'm going to get him on a video to do a full review on this tool soon. And I think he's had it for about 6 months, and so far he was surprised. And for, you know, actually it was the one I gave him is the one I paid $35 for. I think I paid more like $50 for this one. He was like, I'd definitely buy it for $35, which is, you know, half off. So, you know, I think if you can get that kind of deal on this tool, go for it. Yeah, because it does seem to have the power. And with my experience with this particular angle grinder, which is the most powerful angle grinder I have, and I actually paid the least for it, and I have a smaller DeWalt, and I have a Hitachi. They just don't have the power that the Hercules has. So, but, you know, they have smaller motors. But, you know, obviously, you know, in my opinion, if you're going to be using this professionally, get the DeWalt. It just, or you know, another comparable tool. It just makes sense. I hope this helps. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one.